My only wish is that he just ran that car off the road, pulled that guy out of the car, and beat him to death. Fuck you.
And even that would have been too good for him.
Yes.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Recently, Cain Velasquez was in the news because he went to jail for attempted murder. And when you first hear about these types of stories, you wonder what the hell is going on. I mean, he's an MMA fighter, and you know, a lot of athletes do have problems escaping the life that they once lived when they were in the poorer areas. Now they're in the rich areas, and they've made it. They've made it. Most MMA fighters, actually, I would assume, probably didn't come from the best backgrounds. Just like, you know, UFC fighters, or just like NFL players, just like basketball players, most athletes come from more blue-collar backgrounds. And Cain Velasquez was always known as being one of the top-tier heavyweight MMA fighters. And he was, I was a big fan of him whenever he was fighting regularly. So it turns out he had a very, very good reason why. As you see, Joe Rogan just said he wishes that he would have just pulled him out and handled him with his bare hands. Now let's see what the hell is going on with this. What's up with this? There goes Cain Velasquez, and now. Yesterday, former UFC, and this is over there at Whiskey Riff. If you guys have ever heard of Whiskey Riff, I guess it's a country music website, or a country website. I don't know, whatever. Cain Velasquez, shot man charged with molesting his young relative. Yesterday, former UFC heavyweight champ Cain Velasquez was taken into custody and charged for attempted murder in Morgan Hill, California. It seemed like a bizarre incident. It seemed like a bizarre road rage incident, fairly out of character for a guy like Cain, who, despite being a mixed martial artist champion, one of the baddest dudes in the world, has never publicly displayed an ounce of aggression. Right, he was always been known as soft-spoken and pretty chill, but a badass in the octagon. But now more details have emerged, and we're finally starting to learn a motive, perhaps a justified one. According to the Denver Post, the man that Cain was shooting at was a man that has been charged with molesting his young relative, believed to be his daughter, who is 13 years old. Velasquez opened up at Harry Eugene Gollart's car, which was occupied by him and two others. I think it was his parents. The bullet allegedly missed Gollarte but hit his stepfather instead. He's expected to be fined. The 43-year-old creep had been arraigned Friday on felony court of a lewd and lascivious act with a child under the age of 14. The child was allegedly molested by Gollart at his mother's daycare, where the suspect had resided. Velasquez, 39, was placed behind bars yesterday and reported to be arraigned on Wednesday. So the accused man, 43-year-old Harry Eugene Gollarte, lives at home that hosts a daycare business run by his mother. According to a criminal complaint that charged Gollarte with one felony account of lewd and lascivious act with a child under the age of 14, Gollarte was arraigned Friday, and the judge granted him supervised release. They released his ass. They released him. And a judge granted him supervised relief over objections from the Santa Clara County District Attorney's Office. Yeah, it's a fucking predator you just put back out there. You just put a predator back out there. Yeah, so maybe that's why Cain went after his ass. Maybe. Makes sense. 3 days later, at about 3:15 p.m. Monday, Velasquez allegedly opened fire at a car carrying Gollarte, his stepdad, and at least one other person near the Cloverleaf interchange where Monterey Highway and Bailey Avenue overlap, according to police and sources familiar with the investigation. The stepfather was hit, but he's expected to survive. Police have not disclosed any information. They don't know the motives. I mean, we can guess the motives of what Cain was doing, though, especially the fact that they turned the information in And he still got out. He still got out. And now Cain gets put in there, and now I guess he did shoot somebody. He shot the stepfather. And now he has to stay in bars, even though he's not ruining people's lives. I mean, I guess he could be ruining that person's life. But, I mean, at that point, a father's rage, what the hell do you expect? What do you expect? That's a pretty normal reaction. And we'll look at some of the reactions by other MMA fighters in the community, because a lot of people agree with Cain. A lot of people agree with Cain. And I'm hoping that he's not going to spend a lot of time in there. Derek Brunson, free Cain Velasquez. Chris, I don't know who Chris is. I guess these are just a bunch of different peeps. They should throw a parade for Cain Velasquez. Dan, best fight picks. As far as I'm concerned, Cain Velasquez is a saint. Yeah. Yeah, sounds like it. Sounds like it. Free Cain Velasquez. Pedophiles don't deserve a second chance. Anyone who feels bad for what happens to a pedophile is a pedophile. I like that. That's cold, hard logic. Cold, hard logic. If it's true Cain Velasquez tried to kill that boy because his daughter was molested, then damn, that boy got what he deserved. Yeah. Yeah. Sounds like it. Cain Velasquez shot a guy that molested his daughter. He's a hero. Free him. Well, he tried to shoot him, but he actually ended up shooting the guy's father. And then that clip that we started off with, we'll go back to the Rogan clip. Was it this one? Yeah. Now you see how Joe Rogan feels about it.
4-year-old daughter was allegedly molested by this guy, and you could only imagine the...
Can you only imagine, though? Can you only imagine, though? I mean...
Rage, the fucking rage that must have been going through that man's mind. I mean, I get it.
Apparently it was 100 times. I don't know how they know that, but that's what's circulating. And as you say, one time, when you hear that this potential has been going on for God knows how long. Yeah.
And he's got a little daughter, man. She's 4. She's a tiny little, cute little, adorable girl. And that's...
It's just...
Talking about the
and what does that do to her head?
Maybe,
to have
I mean,
that
who knows?
happen 100 times. How do you can't erase those memories.
That's the thing about it is the damage is really, really done. And what more can be done now other than therapy? You have to do therapy. Obviously, you have to do therapy. Prevention is the best step, but you can't prevent them all. So there's always things that you always have to work on with these types of things.
Yeah, I mean...
There are a bunch of sick people out there.
Sick. It's that guy deserves everything what Cain did. Well, Cain actually got his father, didn't he?
Yeah,
not the actual
unfortunately.
guy himself. Yeah, sadly.
I mean, my only wish is that he did it with his hands. My only wish is that he just ran that car off the road, pulled that guy out of the fucking car, and beat him to death. Fuck you.
And even that would have been too good for him.
Yes.
It would have been.
Exactly.
You know?
It would have been.
100%. 100%. Fuck that. Fuck that guy. That's one of the main things too. It's you don't ever really know what the hell you're going to be dealing with. You don't know what the hell you're going to be dealing with. So when it comes to trusting people, I mean, daycares. I just did a video about a sexy sex ed camp, and it's not the fact that sex ed isn't important. Of course it is, especially with these days today. Children can grab phones and look up porn, and yeah, it's probably a better idea for you to have a conversation with them than them to just watch the internet and then start flashing other kids while they're on the school bus and those types of things. So there's a bunch of issues with that type of stuff that you can do, but that you have to deal with. And it's all about protecting the young. And how do you protect the young to the best of your abilities? Because I'm sure that Cain was doing his best, but then he figured he found out some information that no parent ever wants to find out, and he acted accordingly, especially if they turned him in and the guy got out and Cain saw him free. Oh my God. You can't fathom to even see that person without trying, and I'm sure that that's what Velasquez was doing. He was trying. But at the end of the day, this story is a really good lesson to let us know that we must always, forever, try to protect the young. Always and forever. You cannot. It seems like that's most important, because those are the future leaders of the world, and you need to have as many stable adults as you can. And this will make them unstable, and this will make them have all kinds of traumatic experiences and issues as they grow up. So always, guys, protect your young.